What's up guys, Cage here, and I'm here with first video on my YouTube channel, and we're gonna do a crypto coin analysis. This on the coin UXLINK on the Binance perpetual chart. It's a pretty new listed coin, so let's get straight into this. I want to first go over the bullish situation on this coin, and then I want to go analyze the bearish situation on this coin. So let's get into it. The coin was listed right here, and what we did after the listing is we made a little pull down and then we made a massive pull up, so that indicates it's in an uptrend. We have our high here, we have our low, we made a higher high. And what can we expect after a higher high? Its basic market structure is a higher low, so we have anywhere from this bottom to this top to look for potential trades towards the upside, rotation towards back to this high. There's a thing that I see straight away. After we made that starting push, we created a high, and we basically just went sideways. And what sideways price action means, it's accumulating liquidity on both sides to then push in a direction again, because the market cannot just keep pumping and pumping, because there's not enough liquidity, not enough orders for the market to keep going. So it has to go sideways to create that liquidity for the market to go in a direction again. Let's draw a range from top to bottom. A range high, a range low. And what we can see is we deviated the low, which could indicate in a potential distribution towards the upside. So potential market makers are stepping in this bottom right here to then push price towards the highs again. How can we see that? Well, because we're still respecting this as market structure. As we can see, we're keeping support here now. This is not a valid break. If we went down like real fast, then what we should have seen is a big break to the bottom, which would indicate that this coin is really bearish and kept going down. But that's what we didn't do. We deviated the low, we accumulated a bit here, and then we pushed price up with a strong candle again. So this also aligns with my liquidity schematic, which I use to take my trades for over a year now, and it works really well. So what I want to see from here on now is we either hold this point and we trend from here towards the upside again. So I want to see a local change of character like this in this demand here, this whole move. Why this whole move is because from here on out, buyers stepped in and took over this downtrend. So that means buyers were ready to push price up from this point. So I want to keep this and wait for a local change of character for maybe push towards the upside. If we make the change of character here, that means that the market has grabbed enough liquidity on the bottom side so it can move towards liquidity on the upside, which there is enough of. Because what I like about this is we have the lower highs so close to each other. It's just a pool of liquidity. There's so much liquidity there. And also there is no supply untouched. This is mitigated, this is mitigated. So there's no supply to keep the bears from shorting and keeping that momentum towards the downside. That's just not there. So when we get the push up, it's going to be fast, because there's just only liquidity here. Only liquidity on the highs. What we can also see is that price is being pushed like this towards the downside, but we're keeping support here. So that indicates a compression of the market till it cannot compress anymore. If it cannot compress anymore, the price will either shoot up or just shoot down. So breakout on the top or on the bottom. Speaking about the bullish scenarios for me to go in a long scenario, this is one of them, but I also have another one which I more prefer, and I'll tell you why. And that's another tap below this range, so our second deviation of the range low. So we have our one, a range low. This is our first deviation, tap number 2, and that would be 3. Or maybe this, if we can hold like this here, like discussed earlier. So for this to happen, what I like about this is we have is this mitigated yet? No, it has not been mitigated yet. So this is a little demand zone. There will be a lot of people buying here because they bought here before. Because as you can see on the lower time frame, what we did here was we made a little pullback, and buyers stepped in here to push price up again. So that could mean that if price returns here, people would be interested in buying this coin again. So from here on out, I want to see the same situation here. I want to go below that range, deviate this number 2, then push in the range again, preferable with a lot of volume. And then after we made that change of character here, then it's a really strong model, because it would indicate enough liquidity grabbed on the bottom side, plus all the lower highs stacking up in a little compression. The price would just pop up towards the upside, and there's enough to gain here, because the percentage are also, it's 50%. That's really good if we can get a trade going for that. Let's go over the bearish situation right now. This is all valid. We're holding support. Yeah, for me to short, in the range you have your discounts on and your premiums on. The only way for me to short would be in this premium zone. This supply right here, as we can see, this supply zone here, and when we entered it, a lot of sellers stepped in and pushed price down again. We also made a liquidity grab in here, so that could indicate that market makers were filling their short orders here to push price down again. For me to short, honestly, we would have to go back into this zone here and do the same thing we expect on the bottom, and that is make a change of character and just move down again. I would play this really safe, really local, because once again this coin is just set up for a big push to the upside. We're grabbing liquidity on the bottom and not on the top. We're filling orders on the bottom, not on the top. So yeah, that was basically it for the bearish situation. And this was also the video on the crypto coin UXLINK. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If I use some terms you don't know or you have never heard of, then feel free to ask that in the comments, and maybe I'll make a video on it, or I can explain to you in the comments how I do certain things and why. Because this is a method I've been using for a year now, and it's getting me consistent, profitable returns. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.